Welcome back, everybody, to Conference 1. We just saw San Jose take a 2-0 over UC Irvine, and as such, we got the Omen of San Jose joining us now, Nashie. Congrats on the win, man. Hard fought on Ascent, but definitely well earned.
Yeah, it was a great match. You know, we play against UCI a lot in like really competitive matches, and it's good to get out with the 2-0 win.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it was comforting to get away with map 2 after June was doing some pretty serious work on the Killjoy. Now, before I go into my praise of y'all's play, because it was quite frankly ridiculous, I want to talk a little bit about the bit that you did struggle against UCI. That Killjoy threw a real wrench into the work. So eventually you guys broke it though and got a string of rounds together. What do you think was the big change there that allowed you to play into it so much more effectively?
So I think we were just trying to pick and choose spots in the map. I mean, of course, going into a Sentinel or Killjoy is very difficult to take. So, I mean, the gun rounds we had, like, throughout the time we were losing rounds, those 6 rounds we lost to make it 9-9, we were just trying to, like, find gaps between the map. So that was really hard for us. But once we found that B was an easier site to take than A, we started exploiting their B a lot more. And that Killjoy was definitely locking down A, and it was making it a rough one for us.
Well, and I want to actually throw it to your guys' defense on Ascent now, because you were doing some interesting stuff. A lot of heavy stacks towards that A site, kind of leaving Choi Boy alone over on B. Are you just that confident in your B site retake, or is there something spicy going on at A that we didn't necessarily see as much other than just, you know, those pushes out A lobby?
So we like to make a lot of plays, especially on Ascent, because it's a very play-makeable map. So we kind of leave Choi Boy, our Killjoy, to play the site by himself, because we know he can at least get 1 or 2 and play the retake with us. So even if he doesn't get 1, 5v5 retakes will always be favorable for us. So if we can get those 1-2 kills, early picks, the 5v3s, the 3v5s, it's huge advantage for us, and we just play our sites, and we'll be able to usually come out with the round as long as we don't really screw up.
Yeah, and on top of tactics, one of the biggest things that we were talking about when we were talking about your guys' play is the pace of decision making. Now we asked you guys in between the match if anybody's in game leading in particular. You said absolutely nobody, which is just ridiculous to me, because that means either one of two things, right? It's either all of you individually making really good decisions at the same time, or B, you all trust each other to make those decisions. There was moments when over on Bind, when you got flanked by a Killjoy and a Phoenix, you lose your Omen, and then everybody's instantly calling to push onto the site. Basically the only place left you have to go, and making that correct decision. Now, is this just an everyone trusts everyone thing, or everyone is just making the same decision at the same time?
It's a little bit of both. I would say we all really trust our whole team as a whole, because like we've been playing with each other for it's coming up to almost a year now. So we have a lot of trust in each other. And talking about IGL, everyone really weighs in their not opinions, but the things we should do towards the round, especially Teddy and Choi. They're the main two, like, IGLing for which side we should pick out, how we should play defense, this and that. So I mean, there are main 2 IGLs, but we really have a lot of trust in each other, which helps. I mean, it helps us have such a smooth game and play well together, and so on and so forth.
Awesome. Well, I kind of want to like zoom out now a little bit. This is your first match. It's going to be a pretty long season here, but you're off to a good start. Taking a look at the West Division, Dora and I agreed there are a lot of potentially very good teams. Are there any other teams you have your eye on here? Do you feel like you've gotten the best, the highest competition out of the way with earlier? Is there somebody else you are especially looking out for?
I mean, we've always had our ups and downs with DCI. We've always thought of them as one of our biggest rivals. I know CU Boulder's in this tournament as well. We beat them twice, but they are a really good team. They took us to, I think, 5x overtime. So it was like a 19-17 a couple of tournaments ago. So it was a crazy game, but I mean, we know we can beat them. We know what we can do. But beating UCI is definitely a great momentum boost for us early on in the season.
Yeah, well, we know a thing or two about overtimes. Paul's having flashbacks to our 50-round game last split.
Wow,
that was
UCI
just a mess in its own right. But we'll go down to one round specifically. I think you deserve credit. You clutched out more than your own fair share at times with some fairly creative play, but I think one rose above all. I was talking about it in cast, we were praising it a little bit during the break, but that teleport play, oh my lord, it was beautiful. We saw it coming early on in the round. What was going through your head here?
So I saw the Killjoy ult, and we had like a 3v2. Or actually 3v3, and then it ended up becoming a 2v3, and then I'm all like, I have to make some sort of play because I'm in hell, and I'm all like, what's the best thing I could do? I could have either TP'd out and played A main, or I could have TP'd and canceled. So I'm all like, I'm gonna go for the big balls play and TP cancel. So I was able to cancel, and I knew one was door and one fell from heaven, so I was just able to get the transfer off, and thankfully it went my way, and thankfully Jet had an op in her hands and couldn't get me.
Yeah, I mean, if you hadn't have made that play, we might still be in overtime on Ascent. So congrats to that one. You narrowly get the win here on that second map. And of course, Bind was just a solid performance from San Jose. I think we're going to let you head on out. But before we do, is there anybody at your school, in the org, on your team, in your life that you want to give a quick shout out to?
Of course, I'd like to shout out the team. You know, we think we are the best in the nation, and we hope to keep going our ways throughout every single tournament we play. And I'd like to shout out also the people behind the scenes, not just the teammates, but our manager and our the esports manager, everyone who supports us, yada yada, the supporters, the fans, everyone. And yeah, that's what really builds our team and builds a good core chemistry, and all that helps us be one of the best teams out here.
Love that kind of wholesome energy from San Jose. Hope to see you back a lot here on the broadcast. But for now, I believe we're going to let you head on out. Congrats again on your 2-0 and your W to start off Conference 1.
Thank you very much.
I think that's going to be it, too, for us here, Dor. Oh, yeah. Hope to see you soon, man. And believe that'll be it for the night in general. There's still so much Valorant to be played here, though, for Conference 1. That'll be it for tonight and the week here on stream. But make sure you are tuned in on Monday, the 8th at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's when we start this whole thing over again for this week of Valorant. We'll see you Monday for more Collegiate Valorant.